welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media. I'm your host, John. This is the weekly news show where you guessed it, we talk about all the news in the world of physical media. And it was actually a pretty busy news week this week. I don't even know where to start off. I guess we'll start it off with the tease by Lionsgate Limited. We had kind of heard already that Daybreakers was going to be coming to them on 4K Blu-ray, and in their beautiful Lionsgate Limited slip covers over the steelbook. The way they do it, they do a great job at that. You can only buy it through the Lionsgate Limited website. And I guess they're teasing Daybreakers for August, and they also teased one of my, holy grail, please come to 4K Blu-rays, Jacob's Ladder from 1990. This one was directed by Adrian Land. It stars Tim Robbins. I've always loved this movie, mainly because it really gets under my skin. This is one that actually has always worked in a lower quality just because of the way the movie feels, like the cloudy, overcasty 1970s look that they're going for in this movie. The flat, muted colors. This will definitely be an interesting one when it comes to 4K Blu-ray, but this is one that, isn't like a straightforward horror movie, but has some horrific imagery in it, and it's just one that I have personally always loved. Love the ending to this movie. They really go for it in it, and I'm hoping that this Lionsgate Limited 4K Steelbook puts more eyes on the film, because it got a remake a few years ago, an insulting remake at that, like really right up there with like Point Break's remake. Like, it shouldn't even exist. Why even do that? But they did. But this is the one from 1990. This is the one that will get that Lionsgate Limited release, and since they teased it, it has to be coming to 4K Steelbook at some point pretty soon. My guess is in August. Also, the other big announcement that kind of came out of nowhere was the original Conjuring is going to be coming to 4K Steelbook as well. That's through Warner Brothers. And, at first I thought this was like a placeholder artwork for it, because the cover and the back is just black, and we've seen this before, and it still might be, but it has the interior artwork on the 4K Steelbook, which makes me think, yeah, this might actually be the final artwork for The Conjuring, and it's really, really boring. I'm not too sure why you would go with this, but at least right now, this is the artwork that they have in place, and you can already pre-order it on Groove, which is, that means it's pretty much coming. It's a guarantee. I think it said at the end of August we'll be getting The Conjuring on 4K. I still think that's the best in the Conjuring universe films. I think that it's actually a classic horror film at this point, one of the best haunted house films you'll ever see, and I can always recommend The Conjuring. I'll be looking forward to checking that out at home. I think it's going to have a brand new Dolby Atmos track on there, so that's awesome. I'm really glad to see that was announced. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Warner Brothers does that sometimes, and I feel like, maybe people are waiting for like an entire set with all the Conjuring universe films, or at least a trilogy of the 3 Conjuring films. I'm not entirely sure. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of every film that's ever been released in the Conjuring universe. I still do think that the Conjuring, the original Conjuring, is the best, even though Conjuring 2 is still pretty good as well. I enjoy those types of movies, so it's kind of like right up my alley. Even though they are studio horror films and, they got to hit certain beats, I still really enjoy them, and I'm looking forward to that coming to 4K Steelbook. And like I said, I already pre-ordered. I don't know if there's going to be a standard edition or not. I'm sure there will be. WB usually does announce the Steelbooks a little bit before they announce the slipcover version. My guess is it would be right in line with them to have just a regular standard slipcover version with some artwork that doesn't make sense at all. So I would expect that, probably announced like next month sometime when we get like an official press release for this one. Just thought that was pretty cool that got announced. Something that speaks right to my childhood is Universal's Casper from 1995. Casper the Friendly Ghost coming to 4K Steelbook. We kind of heard about this, but it's going to have a Steelbook release and it's going to have a standard release. And of all the Universal 4K Blu-rays that they did announce, because there is a few of them, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which isn't the only one that's up for pre-order right now. You can't get that one yet at the time I'm recording this one. But Meet the Parents already has a pre-order, which is pretty cool. People love Meet the Parents. I haven't seen it in years, and I'll be honest, I'm not really entirely in the mood to run back to it right now, so I might not grab that one. The 40-Year-Old Virgin, I'll have to, I'll wait and see on that. I might grab that one. I have the Blu-ray. I don't run back to that one all the time. It's a good comedy. It's a great comedy. I really do enjoy the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I just don't revisit it like, every single year. Like, that's like an every 4 or 5 years one at this point, because I did kind of burn myself out on that one when it first came out. That was kind of like a revelation at the time. But Casper the Friendly Ghost from 1995. This was actually the first movie that I remember seeing in theaters. I can remember the day very vividly in 1995. I was obviously very, very young, going to the theater with my aunt and my cousin, and I loved Casper. and I've always loved the movie Casper, and I'm really glad to see this getting the 4K Blu-ray treatment, and like getting the love too. I mean, giving it the steelbook option, and it's a nice steelbook. It's not even a shitty steelbook. I think that's actually the better option compared to the standard edition that's coming out as well. So I'm thrilled. I already pre-ordered this from Groove as well. You know, Universal didn't price these like you would expect them to. They're $29.99, just like the Conjuring is $29.99 on Groove. You know, that's kind of perfect for a 4K steelbook. This is what 4K steelbooks should be priced at. I just wish that, you know, other studios, other major studios would get that message, because this is a fair price. You know, you can't complain about this at a new release price. Now, when you start getting over 50, that's just that's just absolutely insane. That's when you're taking advantage of people, and clearly a lot of these studios like to take advantage of us. But I am so happy that Casper is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray. I'm one of the only people who probably remembers the direct-to-video follow-up prequel to Casper, this version of Casper. I watched that VHS a ton when I was a kid as well, just because I love the original. I'm really glad to see this getting the 4K Blu-ray treatment. Never has felt like a summer movie to me. This is definitely something that fits right into spooky season, and it's coming out just before spooky season starts. But you know what, we're gonna be watching that one this summer this year, and you know what, I'm fine with that. I'm just glad that this one's gonna be coming to 4K Blu-ray as well. August 12th is when they're all listed for. The 40-year-old virgin, Meet the Parents, and of course Casper the Friendly Ghost, which is just called Casper. Casper the Friendly Ghost is what it's based on. And Criterion's already getting us prepped up for September, because they gave us their September announcements already, and the big one is obviously This Is Spinal Tap. I did not see this one coming on 4K Blu-ray. Really surprised the hell out of me. This is another movie where I have a funny story, because the first time I saw This Is Spinal Tap, me and my cousin Matt, we were just trying to find something to rent. We were young, so we were renting this from Blockbuster. Everyone had said this is a classic comedy. This is not a classic comedy for children, though. That's the only thing with This Is Spinal Tap. So when I watched it when I was young, I didn't think the dry sense of humor was that funny. Now, when you become an adult and you watch this movie and you appreciate mockumentaries and what Rob Reiner was going for with this movie, you love it. This Is Spinal Tap is an all-time classic comedy with jokes that people still quote to this very day. I mean, how many times have you said turn it up to 11? All that came from here, the Black Album, so much. I'm so glad this is getting the 4K Blu-ray treatment. This is a day one purchase for me. Another one that lines up perfectly is Akira Kurosawa's High and Low. I hope I said his name right. I always struggle with his name. But anyway, High and Low is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray in August as well, which lines up perfectly with Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest, starring Denzel Washington, which is a remake, essentially, of High and Low. So it's pretty cool that that's coming out in August. I imagine that was planned. It only makes sense because Highest to Lowest is going to get released in theaters. Then it's going to be put on Apple TV pretty quick after that. And for this to be coming out the exact same month, I can't imagine that wasn't pre-planned. It has to be, right? Or it's just a really strange coincidence. But either way, very happy with those two. We also talked about the Wes Anderson collection. That's definitely coming out in September. We already knew that. And you'll have individual 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray releases for The French Dispatch and Isle of Dogs. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. September's looking expensive already. I want Spinal Tap. So I might just grab Isle of Dogs and The French Dispatch on 4K Blu-ray, because I already have all of his other films on Blu-ray. So I don't know if I necessarily need to grab that 4K collection yet. I'm struggling with this, guys, because Wes Anderson is one of my favorite directors and I love all his films, but that's just such a high price point, and I already have all of them on Criterion Blu-ray, or when it comes to the Grand Budapest Hotel, I already have the 4K of it, so I might just grab Isle of Dogs and French Dispatch just to have the 4Ks in the collection, and then hope that like Rushmore gets like an individual 4K Blu-ray release, because that's the one I really want to upgrade is Rushmore, and I feel like I'm being held hostage for the other ones because I already have the Grand Budapest Hotel as well. But anyway, that's coming in September, and then they also gave us a few other announcements in there as well. Born in Flames is going to be coming to Blu-ray. The Beat That My Heart Skipped is going to be coming to Blu-ray as well. I have not heard of that movie. I'm sure it's good. Like, there's always movies that kind of pop up and then I look into them. One movie that's coming out in July I had never seen before. I wanted to check it out before the Criterion 50% off sale. You Can Count on Me. I rented that movie and watched it at home. That movie is phenomenal. It's from the year 2000. It's got a young Mark Ruffalo in it. You Can Count on Me is great. I'm probably going to grab that in the 4K Blu-ray sale because I already want to rewatch it. It's that good of a movie. At first I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to rewatch that, but it's stuck with you. It's one of those movies that stuck with you. So movies like this that I might have not ever seen before, sometimes I'll check them out and then maybe I'll grab them when they come out. Read My Lips is going to be also coming out. This has got a 4K Blu-ray release. And then the other one, again, this was kind of like pre-announced, but Flow, that's the month we will be getting Flow on 4K Blu-ray. That was a big one from last year. You know, this is basically a silent film, one of the most beloved animated films from last year. This definitely is something that fits into the Criterion collection. I still haven't seen Flow, by the way, so maybe this will be a blind buy for me. Just not enough time in the day to watch all of these movies. And this is definitely something that feels very Criterion-like. It's something that if it was an animated film that ever was perfectly made for the Criterion collection, I would say that film is Flow. So definitely makes a lot of sense, so I might grab that one as well. And then we'll end this week's show with a little bit of Kino Lorber news. We finally got our final look at the Happy Gilmore 4K Blu-ray box art. It's Kino Lorber, as you'd expect. It's just the original movie poster on there. Hey, I'm still happy about that. With Billy Madison coming out at the end of July, this coming out on August 19th, and Happy Gilmore 2 coming out on Netflix, I believe July 29th as well, or July 25th, something like that. Either way, or we're going to be getting all that. It's going to be like the summer of Adam Sandler. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to get a ton of nostalgic feelings. I'm definitely looking forward to getting both Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore on 4K Blu-ray. And you know what? It's Kino Lorber, so let's just hope they are coming out like they said. And Kino Lorber clearly doesn't learn their lessons, because they announced that they are working on a new scan for 4 Rooms, which is a 1995 anthology film, which I've only seen once. And I only cared about 2 segments in it. I can't even remember who directed the other 2, but Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino directed 2 segments in it. And those 2 segments, if I remember correctly, were the best segments. I just haven't seen this movie in years. I watched it. The only time I ever watched this movie is when I was going down my original Tarantino run after I had seen Pulp Fiction, and then I had to see everything that Tarantino did. And at the time, it just said that he directed 4 Rooms, so I went into the movie assuming he directed it, not knowing it was an anthology film, and he only directed 1 segment. But I guess this is where that beautiful marriage between Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino got started. I just wish that Kino Lorber wouldn't announce these scans so far in advance and not give like a release date or anything. They do this all the time, and then like a year down the line, like Lost in Translation, for example, they announced that. People are excited. I love that movie. I still don't understand what's happening with that 4K Blu-ray release. That, of all films, really does need a beautiful 4K Blu-ray release, but they announced it. Then they announced that it got canceled. We got all these rumors. Again, Kino Lorber just leaves us in the dark, and it really does bother me. Like, they just tell us like, hey, it's got canceled, and they don't really give too much of a reason. And you know, I just wish they would only announce the stuff when it's definitely coming. I don't need to hear about them working on a new scan. Like, that's just going to build up hype, and it could possibly lead to disappointment. But either way, 4 Rooms, I'll be interested in checking it out if it does come. I'm glad that this one will get the 4K Blu-ray treatment, because like I said, haven't seen it in years. I'd be interested to pick it up, even though like I said, I only really cared about the Tarantino and Rodriguez stuff. But hey, it's time to go back. It's been too long, so I'm glad that's getting the 4K Blu-ray treatment as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it here for me on this week's episode of Let's Talk Physical Media. What are you guys most excited for? Let me know in the comments section. And while you guys are down there, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video if you could. And we have channel memberships, guys, so if you want to become a friend of the channel, which we've gotten some brand new friends of the channel, I want to thank all of you guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. It means the world to me. You can do that. You guys could also become a channel producer like Ben Rondo and John Doe Juggalo, or a channel director like Frank from Frank's Media Reviews, the legend that he is, Kevin Kruger, Uncle V, and Nicholas Head. Or you could even become a channel bankroll member like Mr. Smelly Potato. But of course, guys, if you got no money to throw away, don't worry about it all. All I really hope is that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, get out in those streets, tell your friends about us, and then we'll be seeing you around.